And welcome to another episode of the Sloppy Syndicate. I am your host, White Trash Donnie, and we have none other than Zoe and Molly from the band Rozy in the studio tonight. We will bring them in here shortly, get to know about them, the band, and their musical influences, and what got them started into music. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring them in. Give them a round of applause as they come in, folks.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, you're a Texas-based rock band, sisters Zoe and Molly. So tell us, kind of your musical, how'd you get started in music and what made you pursue music?
Yeah, so I really started in the beginning. My dad was a drummer, so I kind of got some of his like natural talents, and we kind of discovered that when I was like 9, 10 years old. I was just like playing. Well, we had like rock band that we had at our babysitter's house, and my mom was picking us up to go home, and I was just like tapping on like the car window or whatever, and she was like, "Do you want a drum set?" And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Do you want a drum set?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So she got me one, like just a starter kit and everything.
She knew her kids. She knew one of her kids was going to be at least a musician,
right?
So that's
why. Because my dad's side of the family is super
about that
musical and stuff like that. So yeah. Zoe.
I'm the older sister, and I'm very much like I didn't want to be left out, and so I was like, "Mom, I want something." She's like, "Well, what do you want?" And I was like, "Oh, I want a guitar. Let's play guitar." So she went to the same pawn shop, got me, I think it was like a Lion guitar, and I for some reason assumed that when you play guitar, you have to sing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that happened. And
and she was like, "We should start a band." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And so we just started.
Yeah.
I mean, that's perfect. You're like, you know what? You got drums. I want a guitar. We're starting a band. That's it.
Exactly.
So, and here we are. You have 4 singles out, 20 from 2020 up until now. So I'm gonna say "Doll" is probably my favorite that I've listened to out of all 4. I get some Alanis Morissette vibes out of that track. So definitely great job on that.
Thank you.
And then your latest single is "Drunk on Love." Recently just dropped a video for it as well. And so tell us, how you kind of went about writing that song. What was your vision? And the whole experience of "Drunk on Love."
Yeah.
So it sounds a little older.
Yeah, we actually had this recorded back in 2018. We've just had a lot of setbacks. Unfortunately, but I mean, I'm glad better late than never, but yeah, so when it was around that time, I was a senior in high school, and I had just gotten my first quote unquote real boyfriend, and I was super head over heels for this guy. He was super great, and again, I'd never really been in love, so I had assumed just what love feels like. And since I write the lyrics for a lot of the songs, I was like, well, you know what? I'm in a happy place right now. I'm gonna write down all the things that I'm feeling, and maybe someone will relate to it. Because I feel like everybody has been in love at least at one point, whether it be
your
with
dog, or
sibling love, whatever.
Yeah.
You're just happy that you're happy that person exists, and you love everything about it. That's kind of what the song was about. And it's just a moment in time. And I was very influenced by pop punk music. So Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, Avril Lavigne, bands like that. And so I was like, that's kind of how it all kind of turned. It's like pop punk bubblegum, in my mind.
Very much.
And that's, I grew up, I'm a little bit older clearly, but I grew up listening to some of the same bands in high school. And yeah, we've all had that first high school love or first, the first actual love. So, whereas you're talented enough to put it in a song, I am not. So, but great job on that. Now, are you guys working on an EP or a full album coming up?
Yeah, we actually went to California this past August, and we recorded 5 songs, and we're super excited about them because they're way different than what we have out right now.
And we worked with a great producer. His name is Mike Plotikoff. He actually worked with on Hailstorm's, I think it's the Familiar Taste of album, Flyleaf's album.
Very cool.
The biggest one, or in my opinion, My Chemical Romance. That's 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, I think is what I say. I'm probably butchering that. I'm so sorry. But that album, and he 3 Days Grace, and so he definitely brought all of our concepts to life.
Yeah, he knew what we wanted, and it was a cool experience.
Best by far.
Super different.
And it's also, I don't want to say it's more of a male-dominated industry, but it's very nice to see female fronted bands making a comeback, or not, I mean, not even making a comeback,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah,
being a more of an influence in the musical
yeah.
industry.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, years ago it wasn't. You had some of the female fronted bands or female artists, but this day and
Mhm.
age, it's exploding, and it's great to see the different variety and the different genres that all the bands are bringing into the music industry. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, keep doing what you're doing. Your sound is phenomenal, and
Thank you.
it just, yeah, I'm Drunk on Love, great song. 2022, you had Pretty Little Lies, which is a cover, if I'm correct.
Pretty no, it
Uh,
was actually "Come as You Are"
Come as You Are was
by
the cover.
Oh, Come
Nirvana.
As You
That
Are.
was the
Yep.
cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that was the cover, and then Pretty Little Lies was 2022, the previous release, and then your latest single was Drunk on Love. So you do have a an EP coming up. You stated that you're working on.
Mhm.
And so, what have been some of your major, outside your parents being in the musical industry, what have been some of your major influences, as far as musicians? I know you talked about Panic at the Disco, My Chemical
Mhm.
Romance, things like that. So, what song or what band, did you really say, at this point, I'm gonna pursue music? Like for me, I would probably say Green Day was one of my
Mm.
biggest
Yeah,
like influences. Like, man, I want to pursue something in music,
Yeah.
yeah.
regardless, what aspect. If I'm, interviewing or managing, not playing
Mhm.
because I'm not talented like that, but you know what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
Do you
I think since we started like so young, we really had a hard time
trying to find
trying
it?
to find, yeah, like what we wanted to sound like, or
okay,
like our specific style. But yeah,
Well, when we were younger, like our first concert we ever went to was a band called Striper. I don't know
yeah.
if you know who they are, but they're like one of the biggest like Christian metal bands.
Mhm.
And my dad was like a super like a diehard for them, and we were like 9 and 10 or like 8 and 9, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I want to go to a concert," and we're like, "Yeah, we've never
Yeah.
been." And so we got there, we're the youngest people in the room. Everybody's so tall. My dad had to get two bar stools, sit both of us on, held
Yeah.
one like this and the other like this.
And we had like extra large t-shirts on
Yeah,
because that's
they
all they
didn't have
had
any of the
left.
small
We covered
sizes.
our whole body literally, like, and so we're just
But-
two kids.
But watching it, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
People these
People paid to come here,
to see
like,
them,
to
and they're
see
so
them.
good.
And they're on stage, and the drums with they still had the stripes on
Mhm.
them, like the B stripes,
yellow and black.
yellow and black. It was just a cool experience. Their whole thing. I feel like that's when we really
Yeah.
were like, dude, this
I
is
wanna do
awesome.
this. Yeah, I was
like,
like,
that
I
would
wanna
be
do something
cool
like that.
to be up there, and for people to come pay to see us and listen possibly one day.
Which it really ended up being a cool. Sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
you
cut
go ahead.
It ended up being a really cool like full circle moment because
Yeah.
so we've been playing for about 12 years now since we were around that time, and there's a place called Scout Bar, which is actually where we ended up seeing Striper play, and we ended up getting to play on the same stage as them. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right?
Yeah.
A couple years
oh,
later.
very cool.
Well, then in 2019, we won a battle of the bands in Houston for Warehouse, and they got to open us up for. We got to open up for a big band. It was Buck Cherry at the time, and they
Oh, very
liked us. That it was
That was
a
fun.
cool show,
Yeah.
and they liked us so much the venue that they were like, well, let's keep having you guys on. And he goes, any show you guys want, you let me know. The owner of Warehouse, and I was like,
Dude.
so you have Striper coming to Warehouse, and we would like to open up for them if that the request still is
possible.
able to happen.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, sure, we can get you guys on, no problem.
We were
so
like, what?
we got to open up for
the
them, and like I'm not even gonna lie, I was crying.
It was so cool
was-
because like then we were backstage like during sound check and stuff, and we were like,
They had like Gregorian chants
was
on the tracks. It was like,
literally
oh.
then we were like, bro, do you remember this? Like,
Yeah.
so crazy. It was a full circle moment.
Yeah, it was cool.
Right.
It was awesome.
It's like deja vu. Like, hey, I was here
Right?
when I was a kid. You
Yeah,
probably don't
exactly.
remember me, but
Exactly.
Right?
we're
Yes.
sharing now. So yeah, that's an amazing moment for sure. So
It was so awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many musical influences that I have. I mean, I couldn't point out one.
Yeah,
anything from
right.
heavy metal to classic rock and even country. So
I feel that.
for the fans listening, what's something, being a newer band, what would you want them to know about Rozy? And where did the name Rozy come from?
Do you want to
Okay.
take the name, or do you want me to take? What do you want to know?
Whichever. So I'll tell you the name came from.
There you
Okay, so
go,
we
nice
used to
answer.
be Starflight, and then we turned that into Starflight Rocks because we ended up being in this competition.
For the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Yeah, for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, they had like this outside, like in the carnival area thing.
Mhm.
Anyways, it went based off of the order of like last names.
in our
and,
F.
and we wanted to go last, and so we added Starflight Rocks so we could be way at the end and then
Which we
like
did.
close out the show, and we ended up winning, which was great. But we just kept that, and then in 2018, I was 18 and
I
Zoe
was
was
19.
19.
We're getting older.
We were like, we're getting older. We should, like
Change it
probably
up.
step it up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so my dad actually came up with the name because he was like, how about, because we're about girl empowerment and everything. He was like, how about Rozy the Riveter? Just like spell it different. And we were like, yo, that's a good idea.
Cool.
And so that's pretty much what it's based off of, the girl power and things
Just
like that.
empowerment in general.
Yeah, empowerment in general. And we just, change the lettering and stuff like
Make
that.
it special.
Make it fancy.
Right.
So with the little line.
And so for what we want them to know about us, we've been doing this since we were children.
Since we were kids.
We're now 22 and 21.
Yeah.
And in this, I'm trying to think. It's been a long road.
It's been a long road.
And we're finally making it.
Yes.
Making a name for ourselves.
Our whole thing is like positive music.
Completely.
Do you know what I mean?
There's
like,
so much in the world, especially music,
and like so much sad stuff, and like I get it and everything. That's great music to listen to, like to be
when
in
you're
the feels
sad.
when you're sad. That's what it's the point. But like our goal really is just to put out positive music and to inspire people and have them not give up and
just really
like
just to have like a positive mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Because there's a lot of music out there that just the lyrics, you're like, what? But it's so catchy, you sing it anyway.
Yeah.
And we want to be catchy, but also good like a good message to it. So that's really our goal in this music industry.
So from my aspect, it's kind of refreshing speaking with you, for as far as the empowerment and the message that you want to bring with your music. It's the obviously we know the music industry. There's so many genres and so many realms, and in a world that's so negative, it's good to see the positive being highlighted and the empowerment aspect of it. And being as young as you are, at one time you looked up at to a band and kind of got your footing in music and things like that. And just think of the fans to come that you'll be influencing now. So that's kind of full circle as well. You were influenced by a band, and just remember, stay positive. The empowerment, I love it. Especially women empowerment and music. That is a huge deal, and you guys can definitely make that a reality and empower not only females that want to pursue music, but a positive vibe in the music industry or the rock industry as well. So with what kind of made you go with the kind of rock genre?
Honestly, so we were influenced by rock music all our lives, first of all, but
80s.
Second of all, like we played so many cover shows in our life, like so many,
because that's how we make our money.
That's how we make money and stuff like that, and which is great, which has actually slowed down because we've been doing a lot more like original stuff, which is great too. But anyways, like every time we would play like rock music when like covers, we would just get a completely different response from people because they could tell that we enjoyed that specific genre way more than the rest, you know, like it just stood out to them. And so we were like, dude, we're literally like, we're a rock band. Let's just go more that way, And that was, of course, after Drunk on Love was made and everything, because that song is super pop and everything.
Yeah.
Like
that was
our
when
new
we were
stuff.
trying to find it.
Yeah, that was like, we were trying to figure out who we were and things like that. But we finally realized like, rock is what gets us out there. It's what we do. It's what we like. It's what everyone likes.
And it's such a broad genre. It's like an umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's so many categories to rock.
Exactly.
And I feel like
we're like the alternative sorta, and that's so what like our EP is. It's a lot heavier, and
not every song sounds the same.
Not every song sounds the same. It's still has pop influence. But like it's mainly rock music. So that's just what we prefer and enjoy the most.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I am big on the rock as well, so I appreciate rock.
Yeah.
Even I listen to all genres, like I said, but definitely a rocker at heart.
Right.
So we're going to get into a couple questions. So let me shuffle the deck, and
Ready.
you can pass if it doesn't pertain or you don't have an answer, or you can
Yeah, yeah.
answer it. Let me shuffle the deck. All right.
Man, Brandon and Noah missing out.
I know. Right?
So which one of your songs would you want to be most remembered by?
Oh, it's for sure.
The newer stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. There's 2 songs. Because I can say it, because I can say it. We have 2 songs. No, there's 3.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
That's
no,
half the thing.
it's fine. It's fine.
That's half the
Okay,
EP.
so there's one song for sure that I would definitely love to be remembered by. And it's either One for All or Living.
Yeah.
Which would you choose?
So we have this song that's based off of.
Oh yeah, so I'm a big anime nerd.
Yes,
I love anime.
She loves anime.
And I wrote a song based off of an anime called My Hero Academia. The gist of it is everybody in the world either has a power or they don't, and it's called a quirk. And there's this one kid who is like, I have this quirk, and I'm gonna be like this big hero. His name is All Might, and his power is called One for All, and he's like the big hero. He's like the Superman, you know what I'm saying? And well, the kid finds out he was born without a quirk. And so he's devastated, heartbroken, yada, yada, yada. Well, he meets this guy. He ends up meeting his hero. And long story short, he transfers the quirk to him. So he's like the next in line. And so the song is called One for All, and it's talking about like his journey, but it's talking about in general, it's talking about like give it your all.
Yeah.
You got it. You have that heart, that fire in your
Yeah.
heart, and I feel like very much like
that would be, because it's such a unique thing. Like, okay, so Zoe's the songwriter also in the group. She's very good at it. She loves it. Yeah, you're a lot better than me. So you can keep that. So you do it. Yeah, but I just think it's like a cool, no one really has done that before, in my opinion. And I think that'd be something really awesome and different to be remembered by. Of course, all of our other songs are really good too, which it's hard to choose. But yeah, I agree with her.
One for All?
Yeah, I agree. One for All would be really awesome.
Mine would be Livin', which it was called Moonsick Memory originally, but that's a long title. Back in the day, Fall Out Boy used to have a bunch. I write Sins Not, or Panic at the Disco. I write Sins Not Tragedies, all that stuff. So I like stuff like that. But and it's like classic rock. Like it's like the song's about like. So I don't do drugs, I don't smoke weed, I don't do any of that. But I was like at a time where I really liked like 70s music, and I like that vibe, that very much like psychedelic, And I just started writing this song. I was like, whatever comes to me. And the lyric that came to me was Moonslick Memory. And I was like, that's cool. I don't know what that is, but that's really cool. So I kind of just like developed on it. And pretty much what it ended up being was like, it's like the chorus is, because I'm living for a reason. I'm living for my freedom. I'm living for my life again. I'm living for my freedom. And it ended up in like this, this sort of like anthemic powerhouse, like sort of like, you got this. Who's going to give it to me? No one's going to give it to you except for you. You fight for what you love. You fight for your freedom. You fight for, because at the end of the day, you are you. That's the best thing that can ever be. And, embrace it, enjoy it, and fight for it if you need to, And so that's one of my favorites. That's what I would say that I would like to be remembered for that one.
That'd be good.
Right. And in a sense, it's kind of like a you versus you type of, a mental aspect. Like,
Definitely.
So, this is a pretty good one, actually. So which format do you prefer to listen to music on? Streaming, CD, cassette, or vinyl? I'm a big vinyl collector. So I like the vinyls and the cassettes. So how about you?
I have vinyls. I do, and I have a record player. As far as but I like to listen to music whenever I can. When I'm at home, I usually listen to it on my record player. But if I'm at the gym or we're heading to a show, I'd probably say streaming.
Me too. Okay. But a cassette would be cool if that was available in the car still.
We have CD player in the car.
We have cassette players. Yeah, there's a CD player, but I don't buy CDs.
This is true.
Does anyone buy CDs unless you're supporting a local band?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
yep, it's the digital era now, so everything is right on your phone. So. Which is worse, loading into a venue or loading out after the show?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Uh,
I get a lot of help. I didn't used to, but help now.
yeah,
And I have so many pieces and so many
girl.
everything. Loading in is definitely a lot less stressful because um, you can take your time,
And you
you
can go at
know,
your own pace.
and
Yeah,
you could go at your own
usually.
pace. Usually, you know, if there's like stairs, that's hard. But because we have all of our instruments in like two really big like road
Cases.
cases, and so yeah, if there's stairs, you'd have to like lift it. But anyways, yeah. So I'd say loading in is easier. Loading out is way harder because it's usually basis, and you have to hurry up and pack everything,
It's
and then
true.
put it in the car, and then drive off. So.
This be true.
And yeah, so you have the excitement of getting to play the show. So you're
Yes.
excited to set up and that, and then when the show's kind of over, you're like, I got to tear
Oh, yeah.
down and
Yes.
over.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Exactly.
All right. Is there a time of day that you feel most creative?
At night. Like, and when I say at night, it's like midnight till like 3 in the morning. Sometimes it just comes to me when I'm in the shower, which also is around midnight to 3 in the morning after I stream or whatever. Yeah, usually I go get inspiration around that time. And it just hits, and I'm like, oh, well, if it's hit and go, like just right. Because sometimes it doesn't hit you after. And if you try to come back to it, sometimes it's not. You're not in that mindset anymore, and it's just not as intense of a feeling.
Whatever the day brings, at night I'm tired, so I just go to sleep. I don't overthink nothing.
See, I'm a night owl as well, so
yeah.
I'll lay in bed and I'll get a thought in my mind and I have to write it down. Otherwise, I'm like squirrel, and then my mind keeps running, and then I'll wake up the next day and then I'll be like, what was I thinking about? I know, and I can't remember it, so I literally got to write it down in my phone or in the book or something just so I remember. But yeah, I'm the same way. Late at night is probably where some of my crazy ideas come from. I'm not a morning person, so I like to sleep in. When I wake up, I like to have my coffee, relax, and just slowly start my day, not just jump up and let's go.
So. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't understand those people.
When we tour, we're going to have to be like that.
Oh, gosh. You're going to have to give me a minute. Be
like, I need a hour early wake up call just so I can hit snooze, please. So
that's true.
I'm the worst snoozer. I'll snooze until literally like 10 minutes before I have to go, and I'm like, crap.
Yes.
I got to get up now. All right. And then I'm rushing to get ready. And I mean, I'm stressing myself out because I wanted that extra 15 minutes of sleep, but now I have to rush. So.
And sometimes it sucks because it's not even quality sleep. Like the last 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Because you're still thinking, do I got to get up? You're like, I got to get up soon.
Yeah, like you just shut your eye and then the snooze goes off again. You're like, dang it. You hit the button and then you're like, so you're like in and out. Yeah. So it's not quality sleep, but I mean, yeah, I feel definitely good sleep. So what motivates you to keep wanting to perform and make music?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good one. Do you want to go or you want me to go?
You go, I have to think.
I think what motivates me, at least recently, actually, we've been playing a lot of shows that we've had really good crowds, and I'm a big people pleaser, so I feel like I'm in the right field for this because I just go up on stage and like, are you having a great time? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, great, let's go. But my favorite thing is seeing like after the shows when people come up to us, especially when they have like kids, where they're like, this is their first concert, or like this is their first show, or both. I'm like, oh my god,
and they're like our age or
they're younger,
or
like younger, the little kids. I'm like. Because it makes me like reflect on like when our dad took us, and I was like, man, I want to do this, and it's like, wow, I wonder if I impacted this kid to do this. Like, actually, man, it was about like 4 years ago. We place in Texas called Liberty, Texas, and they have a Jubilee every year. We actually just played for them this past weekend, and there was a group of guys that were there, and it was them. They were brothers, and we played. It's just a 3-piece, me, my sister, and Brandon, and. A year later, we come back and they're like, hi. And then we're like, hello. We're getting ready to load up onto the stage again. And they're like, oh, we actually started a band because of you guys. Y'all are great. And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's wild. So it's really cool to like see that.
Yeah.
And be like, wow, you impacted that.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
but yeah, so that's what my reason to keep going is for sure.
I agree too. Probably me too, because like I know that when we're at sort of like a standstill, like when COVID hit, that's when I was the least motivated to do music stuff because nothing was happening. I felt like we weren't progressing, and
we had stuff that we had to just sit on.
Yeah,
we
had
weren't
music.
allowed to. Like with our last. The last
Drunk on Love, we sat on that, and like
ever.
other songs, we have still a couple songs that we still haven't released and that we're sitting on, but it was just so long ago. We're like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think as long as we're playing good shows and
people,
the
reaction
are good.
Is
great. We definitely feed off of the crowd a ton. And that feeling is like sort of addictive. And when you don't have that for a long time, you're just kind of like, oh.
You see why people who tour are like, man, this is crappy. This sucked. Like waking up, but they're like, I want to do it again.
I want to do it again because of that feeling, So yeah, I agree.
So if you could, past or present, any artist, any genre, who would you want to perform with?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. All right, you want to go performance-wise? I'd say with Freddie Mercury.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
I would lose my shiz. Or Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I think both of them are phenomenal performers.
That would be crazy.
I'm even though I'm the guitar player, I'm more of the rhythm. Brandon usually takes over the leads and stuff. Because I like to just entertain the crowd while I'm singing, and so I get a lot of inspiration from like Freddie Mercury and like Michael Jackson because they were performers, through and through.
Yeah.
On top of having incredible voices, and so those are definitely two people I'd be like.
Yeah, and this one's like out of the blue, but like, and she's still alive. But I'd like to Dolly Parton. I think she's awesome.
Okay.
Yes. I think she's so sweet, and I feel like she would love us, and we would like connect. In my opinion, her and like who else? I don't know. There's so many. It's just
that's hard to pick one. I know. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think Elvis would be quite interesting, or Johnny Cash maybe.
That would be
just
cool.
Definitely something unique.
Right. Something different.
All right, we're gonna do one more question, and then we're gonna wrap up for the evening.
Cool. It's been fun. Sorry, I gotta breathe horribly.
In your experience, what is the perfect size crowd to perform to?
Ooh, all the big ones.
Period. Okay, she's saying that because she's saying it too because like I think our biggest crowd we played to as far as what right this moment, and this is when we were a duo. We got to play Van's Warped Tour, back in 2015. 2016, 2015. Yeah, it was when they still did the Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands, and we they had 5 winners per city, and you had to vote. And I remember, I'll never forget. I was going to be turning 15 or 16 around that time, and I told my dad, I'm like, we're gonna win, like, and he's like, okay, like, and I was praying hard for that. We ended up winning, along with another band called Water Parks. Which they're huge now.
They're huge.
This was like one of their last shows before they like got signed and like went big time. And but yeah, I'll never forget that because we were the only female fronted band and we was only a 2-piece at the time. They put us the very first slot, like right as soon as the gates opened. I was like, damn, because there were so many people that wanted to come see us, but by the time they got in, it's a long line and stuff.
Yeah.
But still, even without them there were so many people. It was like.
And they were like our age at the time.
And they liked it.
That was the group that we were shooting for.
Yeah.
Like the age range. Because we get, even now, like a lot of older people love us.
Which is great.
Which is amazing, but they also come because of the people we open up for mostly. And so I think the perfect crowd would be our age group and then just like a full house.
Would you say like House of Blues? Or
like that, or even Warehouse. Like Warehouse Live.
Great. Warehouse holds, that's like awesome. Our home venue because they really take a chance on us, and because of that, we've gotten to open up with such amazing acts.
Good bands. Yeah. So.
Yeah. See, if I had to go in front of a crowd of 60,000 people, I think I would probably kind of freeze up there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So here's the thing. So we are this month. I don't know if you've seen it, but Bon Jovi's going on tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bon Jovi's going on tour, and he's getting local bands from each of the cities to go and open up for them. So
we applied.
We're praying to God that we get it. We applied for Austin and Houston, so those are 3 Texas stops.
But that'll be like
that would be okay. Well, if it's in Houston, it's at the Toyota Center. So
That's
that would be the
huge.
biggest venue we've ever played ever.
Right.
That would
That would be
great.
huge. Yeah.
Molly literally goes, man, I hope you can control it.
I
And I
hope
was like,
you
what do you
can
mean?
stay
She's like, I mean, like
together.
your nerves, sucker. And I was like, see, listen.
Because
We're like-
I could sit. You're gonna be like shaking.
Dude, I was shaking like a leaf. But I told her, I said, look. I said, part of me will probably have to go to the bathroom a lot.
Yes. Me too.
However, once we start that first note,
we'll be fine.
we'll be fine. That's
Right.
always how I am. I'm like always so
It's always
nervous
the
until we hit the
beginning.
first note. And then we're primo. But also too, even though it's that many people, I pray like we're Christian people and I believe in praying, and so I've been praying for an opportunity to do that since I was a kid. So it's also like, this is what you asked for, and I'm like,
Yes.
let's go, let's hit it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
That would be
Yeah.
so fun.
So I see a ton of success in your future. So
Thank
keep
you.
rocking out, keep doing what you're doing. And whenever the EP releases, we'll get you back on the show and talk about the new EP and the album. And
Awesome.
so in the meantime, where can the fans find you at?
You can find us on all social media at the Rozy Official. And if you want to check out our website, that's got everything too, so you don't got to go look for it. It's rosyofficial.com.
Okay. And do you have merch, anything like that
Yes.
available?
Yes, all of our merch is on there. It's a place called Store Frontier, but like we just put it on our website. That way you
Yeah,
can just
we
click-
have like one of those link tree things
Oh,
in
yeah.
our bio.
Okay.
So you could just click it and then it'll say like
Everything will pop up.
merch, and also like in our Instagram highlights, there's a merch one. So you could just click the link in there too.
Smart.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So that's where you can find Rozy, and make sure you tune in. They have 4 songs out now with an EP coming up soon. And it was a pleasure having you ladies on the show, and we will have you on the show when the EP drops. And
Yes.
much success. Hopefully you get to open for Bon Jovi. That would be
Right.
absolutely huge.
Thank you.
And until next time,
Awesome.
we'll see you then. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you so much
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Thank
We
you
really
so much.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks.